Hello to you all and welcome to another Sandro Forte success stream. Today I have the great privilege of having a very special guest for two particular reasons. One, not just is this individual supremely successful in his particular field, but I could well be his next patient. Jørgensen has a CV that would be the envy of anyone in the medical profession. If you read anything about Jørn, whether it's on the internet, whether the CV I was very kindly sent before this chat with him today, all I see is the word first and most. This is a cutting edge individual that has really transformed his area of expertise, but we'll find out a little bit more about him in a second. What I'm not going to do today is read his CV because it would take the entire 20 minutes. It is very, very impressive, and I've been looking forward to having this conversation for a very long time. It's taken a bit of organizing, and that's because he is very successful, very busy, travels all around the world. And today we're going to have the benefit of not just his expertise, but his insights into what makes him so successful. Jørgensen, great to meet you. Great to have you on the live stream with us today. I gather you've just finished a trip. You're back in Hamburg. But let's start at the beginning, if we may. Just tell us a little bit about yourself. Where did it all start? I know you were born in Denmark. You're married. You have a son. But where did the career journey, the success journey start?
Yeah. Hello, everybody. My name is Jørgensen. Well, I think the whole started always in the family. I grew up in a family where my father was a ship's owner, so he was an entrepreneur. And I saw as a child a lot of businesses and a lot of entrepreneurship. And at the same time, I became a doctor. And so this was a good combination. And I also decided very early to become an eye doctor. And I started in Denmark and I ended up in Hamburg while I met my wife there. So I took my training there, and after many trips, I went again to the University Eye Clinic in Copenhagen. Then I went to Switzerland. Then I went to Spain. Then I went to the US. And finally, I ended up in Hamburg again. And what can I say? I was a surgeon. I have always been very good at my hands. And so I became very well known in Hamburg while I was the first to do outpatient surgery on cataracts. At that time in Hamburg, every patient stayed 7 days in a hospital bed after cataracts, and I did it outpatient. And you can imagine many of these old people, or let's see, 60, 70 plus, they don't wish to. So I became very, very successfully, and I'm a little workaholic too. So I worked a lot and did a lot and went on. And in this time of period, also something came into ophthalmology. It was refractive surgery. Let's say when you are myopic, you wish to get rid of glasses, get rid of reading glasses. And I took that up immediately, and I had from day one a big, big success. So I think nobody did it in Denmark at that. So we flew all the patients down from Copenhagen to Hamburg to have it done there. And but you know, this was a little complicated. So we opened up also in Copenhagen, and then it went on, and now we have 18 clinics in Germany. So it went on, it went viral, and it was a fantastic. It is our own clinics, our own doctors. So it's no franchise. We really did it in our own, let's see, quality, in our own setups, and so on. Also, maybe to finish this story, I saw in 2012 that many of my patients come from China. So I said to myself, well, China, 2012, it is another China as we see today. But anyway, I think, why not? At that time, also, the mayor of Hamburg was the now Chancellor Scholz of Germany. So I took with him over to Shanghai. And I opened my first clinic there in 2012, and he opened the clinic. Later on, he also opened the clinic in Beijing. And now we have 8 clinics, 8 hospitals in China. And make it very, I spent 10 days every month for 10 years in China. So I did the surgeries myself there. I had the feeling the only way you really can trust and be sure and don't be faked up, it is to be there yourself. So I really took that lesson. Then in 2019, we decided to go stock exchange. And I think we are one of the only clinic group worldwide in eye to be stock exchange. So we got listed on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange. It was also in Hong Kong with the intention to, let's see, to grow more in China. But 4 months after we got stock exchange, COVID came. It was not planned in this way, but we went through. It was a hard period. And well, then we bought a clinic in Harley Street, and now we have opened up also in Brompton Road. So we are developing. I have many good people. I have many good doctors. I have a very good team, and I have a son coming behind me. He is at the University Eye Clinic in Berlin, and here I'm trying to learn him something about business. So maybe it's a very short catch up that you see a summary told in 3 minutes about how I did it the last 20 years.
That's quite an amazing story. I'd like to pick up on 2 words that you mentioned. You're almost right at the beginning of that excellent introduction to your life and your work. And those were the words, why not? And I'm picking up on those specifically because a lot of people that listen to this stream around the world, they often have, a good idea. They go into a profession for themselves. They maybe earn good money, and I'm sure as a skilled surgeon, you do very well. But it's the next step. It's the identifying of an opportunity and then proceeding with that idea. So many people spend a lot of their life with an idea, with an objective, with a goal, and they never really do anything about it. And yet you make it sound so easy. Why not? Let's just go for it. So I suppose question number 1 I have for you is, what does it take to crystallize an idea, to take an idea and turn it into something tangible? And then I think the second question off the back of that, if I may ask you, is when COVID came along, clearly it was not planned. It was certainly a fairly major issue, obstacle, challenge for you. How do you typically overcome challenges? Because I think there is a perception that successful people, for them, success is linear. No, it's just like a straight line upwards. And of course, we know that's not the case. So when it comes to challenges, how do you deal with them? So to summarize, 2 questions. How do you take an idea and turn it into something positive and tangible? A listed company doing extraordinarily well and expanding ever more, seemingly every month. And then equally, how do you deal with challenges?
Well, you can say the first idea was a very easy idea, that you do outpatient surgery. That is, the other people who kept that 7 days in hospital, that's politic. But you cannot overcome emotional thinking of people who wish to stay at home. So it's very easy. And when you also have good hands, I think it makes it easy. And success makes success. And when you have many happy patients, you will sometimes wish to, let's see, you need to be 2 things you need to be. You need to be very curious, and you need to be very ambitious. I think that is 2 things what you need to be. And I think I'm both. And I have also been very lucky that I'm very healthy until now, at least. And so when you get a good idea, you never know that, in Germany, it was also in Denmark, it was easy at that time, I would say, while you saw so many happy patients. But I was willing to take a risk. I didn't have money myself, so I earned all my money myself. And I had some support from at home, of course, but it's always a risk. But when you are convinced what you are doing, and when you are seeing making people happy, and happy make happy, you have mouse by mouse. When I will do your eyes, you will probably tell it around in your podcast, well, I have new eyes today, and you will have new patients. So I think that is very easy. It gets more difficult when you get to China, while this is more a wild card, you know, and it's also maybe you cannot control that yourself always. While you need good people, but I have been very lucky. I have trained all my Chinese my Chinese employees. I have trained them all in Germany and in Denmark. All the surgeon I have had from Germany and from Europe. I have never had Chinese surgeon. I always took them. We have started to have some Chinese surgeon now. It's people who have been by me 12 years now. But this is more a wild card, and there you need to have luck. So I would say I would always convince people to do something when they really see that they make, in my field, ophthalmology or medicine, when you see you are good at something and that you are producing something unique, maybe. Something you see how bad all the other is. Maybe you are not good, but all the others are even more bad. I have something wonder about that. But I can only say I have always following my stomach feeling. And the more you start to do business plan, I have never done a business plan. I have never, the more you take lawyers, include them in your process, forget that. It will only get complicated. You need to believe in yourself, your family, and your surrounding. I would never take advertisers with me in while they also only wish to earn money. And you are the specialist. You are the specialist. You know the topic. And I had the luck that I had let's see, Hamburg. It was a fellowship with Shanghai, and in this way, I also got a good joint venture partner, and so on. But it's a combination of many things. But I think you need to believe in yourself. And for me, it has always been a stomach feeling.
Yeah, one of the things I know about you, Jørn, from all the research and from listening to you today is you also not been afraid to take a risk. You know, there's a lot of people in life and in business that get very comfortable. They stick with what they know. They're not prepared to put their neck on the line. You know, you said, if I may quote you, that you've had a bit of luck, but, you know, I think it might be a Chinese proverb that goes something along the lines of luck is where preparation meets opportunity, right? So I'm just wondering, why does such a successful man that has a very well-established business, that's listed on the stock exchange, that's got clinics everywhere, has a massively a reputation that, you know, precedes him, why take a risk of a new marketplace? So just at what point do you step across the threshold between comfort and pain, I guess, if that's the right way of expressing it?
Well, I think you should never look at the money. You never start to do calculations about you will earn so and so much. You need to have a broader overview of where it's a good idea, and you know, money. You need to have money to do investment, of course, or otherwise you have the banker. But I can only say you need to take risk. When you don't take the risk, you are also not willing to do it. You know, you don't believe in your story. I think when you really believe in the story, you know, I was the first in China to treat a patient with presbyopia, like you are 50 plus. And I was the first who introduced that in 2012 in China, and it became a massive success. And you know, you are not allowed to do marketing really in China. It's very restricted. So it only went mouse by mouse. And in the end of the day, you know, they all come. I just did the chairman and founder of Baidu, that's Google of China. He had presbyopia, you know, and these people, they talk it to other friends and so on. So for me, it's always, I love to have happy patients, you know. I think it's so, what should I do else? You know, I cannot go around on a golf place or, you know, for me, it's not a question about working. it's, let's see, it's nice. It's a nice area being, and I love that.
One of the things I've heard loud and clear, and I often talk about people following a process rather than focusing on the outcome. So what I've heard is it's very much about the patient in this particular case, and less, you say less about the money. But what you're saying really is that if you focus on the important thing, the commercial outcome almost takes care of itself. I think I'm right in saying. So as you kindly pointed out, Jørn, I'm 50 plus, I'm 55, very nearly 56. And, you know, here I am with a pair of reading glasses because my optician told me that I should wear glasses for close-up work. And as I get older, I feel that my eyesight's deteriorating a little bit. And I'm fairly desperate to address the fact that I look about as bad in a pair of glasses as I do in a hat. So, of course, EuroEyes is kind of the premier ophthalmic solution. But if, as a layperson, I'm kind of looking at a vast marketplace and I'm seeing LASIK, different kinds of cataract surgery, I'm looking at phacoemulsification, and I've been practicing that word, by the way, so you'll have to explain what that means. But, you know, I'm looking at a vast range of different services from many different places. What am I looking for apart from your own particular expertise? How do I find my way through a maze of different options? Because there are some really bad solutions out there, and there's clearly some good ones.
Well, the first thing you should look at is, and this is make it very easy, it's the age. Everybody who is 45 plus get presbyopia. You know, you have in the eye, you have a lens behind your pupil. When you read, when you are young, you read, it gets thick. And when you look straight ahead, it gets flat. So it do so the whole day by reading. And when you get 45 plus, it gets stiff and you cannot read anymore. So we have a very famous poet in Germany called Goethe, Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. He said the only way to escape presbyopia is to die young, you know. So everybody will get it, and you have also got it. So when I cannot do laser vision correction. Sometimes we have something called presbyon. We do it by very young people, so 30, let's see, 38 to 50, 52. In your case, I would choose a lens, a trifocal lens, and you name the word phacoemulsification. When we remove the old lens, we don't take the whole lens out. We take part of the old lens out, and I do that with ultrasonography, and this is called phacoemulsification. So I do everything to 2 millimeter. It's a really tiny pinhole, and and I don't suture that. It takes 10 minutes, and you get into the eye a lens from Carl Zeiss. We are using a German brand. That's the best brand you can get. That's a Mercedes. And this lens you get into the eye, you are able to see far, near, and intermediate rest of your life. So it will not change anymore. We have done over 100,000 treatments, operations of them. So we are doing 15,000 a year. So it's a very secure. I have done the German finance minister. The whole through everybody have got it. While it go viral mouse by mouse, and people today are different. Like, as I said before to you, like your parents and your grandpa, they were willing to say, well, it is so. But young people like you, we have the new world, the 60s are the new 40s, you know, they are not willing to do compromises. They wish to change something in their life. They wish to improve their life. And they wish to also take a risk to get that. So we have people, the first I ask them, do it bother you every day? And when they say, doctor, it bothers me every day, I hate that, then we do it. So it's a can, but not a must. But you are a guy, you are too old to get a laser vision correction. So I would recommend by you get a customized. We will make some lenses for your eyes only. They will be customized, made for you. And you'll get it. And we do both eyes on the same day, take about 10 minutes per eye. And we are specialized on that. We don't do any other things in China and Hong Kong and the world around as this. And so this is, you know, I have always wished to have surgeons who are highly specialized. I don't wish to have a doctor who do that 3 times a week or something. So everybody of our surgeons do 2,000 operations a year. So this has always been my benchmark, and to having people in. And I don't like unhappy patient, and I think a great deal of our success has always been that I haven't been focused so much about the happy patient. They are all there. But the unhappy patient, them you need to filter out and you need to treat them.
Well, I'm really encouraged that on the basis that you've treated the German finance minister, if you're good enough for him, you're good enough for me. So I will be having a conversation with you offline about all of this, because as I said, I look terrible in glasses. What's next for, you know, such a successful, you know, clearly very progressive, very ambitious man? What's next? Does this go on expanding? Does EuroEyes go on expanding, you know, across the globe? Have you got your sight set on, excuse the pun, have you got your sight set on any other things in the areas of medicine or sight correction? What's next on your journey?
I think what is next, you know, when you are listed, you need to do M&A the whole time. You know, that is name of the game. But I think for me personally, next is to get a good team. You know, also, you know, I was now in Kenya horseback riding. It's the first time in my life I fell out 5 days because of the bad stomach. And there you really need to have a good team in place. You know, you need to take care that it's not a one-man show. And so I would say a very big issue for me is to get a good team, a very good team. That is, when you have a very good team, you can maybe also enjoy some day off, and you can. I'm a big sailor, and I like horseback riding, and so maybe this is also some time which should take a bigger part of your life. But make a good team and take care of what you have got so far. Take care of the patient. Take care of no loss of quality control. I think this is important. A quality control need to be there. You get new people the whole time. You get new doctors the whole time. You need to be in charge of that. Otherwise, you lose.
Yeah, very well said, I have to say. In a few final words then, before we wrap up, Jørn, for the many people around the world listening to this live stream today, you know, they often reach out. We get a lot of emails and we get questions of guests. You know, what's the few words of advice you have for people maybe looking to set out on their own journey of building a business? They've got a great idea. Maybe they don't know how to get started, or they did get started and then they kind of came up against a bit of a problem and they haven't known how to deal with it. What general advice would you offer to those listening that are on a similar journey to you, but probably at the beginning, rather than having achieved all the things that you have, but want to emulate what you've done? Are there a few rules by which you live? Do you have a particular mantra in your professional life? You know, what words of advice would you give to people like me and all those listening today?
Well, it's a good question. About your own health, you can only hope that it will be good. But I would say you need to trust in yourself, and you need to be self-confident. All the other guys, like we are saying in Denmark, they are only cooking with water. So they are not stronger than you, and you should believe. So when you have a good idea, and as in my field, it was ophthalmology and eye surgery, just do it. Just do it, and take a chance. And you can only lose some money, but you will, when you don't do it, you will also regret it in a way that you didn't do it. So I think forget the money, do it. And I think when you are self-confident, you have a good chance that you will do it. But listen to your stomach. Don't listen to lawyers.
That is a very, very good piece of advice, unless, of course, you're a lawyer listening to this. Jørn Jørgensen, CEO, Medical Director and Chairman of EuroEyes, international group. Thank you so much for joining us today. You have got yourself one new patient at least. I will be coming to see you and showing off my new eyes in due course. But of course, if anybody out there is listening, wants to get in touch with Jørn, you can do by following the link at the bottom of the stream. Any other final words of wisdom?
Well, I can only say people who wish to get in touch with me, we have an online, we are on our webpage, an online consultation or online talks with people. When they wish to get in talk with me, they can go on our webpage and they can see they can get in touch with me this way. And so I'm always, that's around the world. We are in many clinics, but they can always reach me online.
Okay, so just tell us then, if you would, before we go, what's the web page? Where do people need to go if they want to check you out?
Well, they can go on leclondon.uk, LEC London, or youreyes.hk, that's in Hong Kong, or youreye.com. But our online consultation, you can find, I think the best thing is go on LEC London.
Yeah,
that is our clinic name in London, and there on the homepage they can see online consultation or online talk with me, and I'm ready to have a conversation.
Thank you. That's great. And if you didn't pick up any of that, you can follow the link at the bottom of this stream today for direct access to Jørn and his team. Jørn, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been a privilege, and I'm looking forward very much to meeting you in person in the coming weeks.
Okay, take care. Bye-bye.